Hi again. Let's get right into it with vendors and contractors. This applies to board members just as much as it applies to managers. But being a manager, I really want to stress to other managers out there how important it is to have trusted vendors and support them. And in turn, they'll support you. So why would you want to get along with the local vendors? What's so important about it? Why have these contractors that you can call on? Well, you help each other. They need business. They have the entrepreneurial spirit, the ownership of a business. They might be the salesperson for that company, so they need the profit. They need the business. That's what they're there for. And you as a manager or you as a board member need to show the results. You need to make sure that you have somebody that you trust that's going to provide quality work at a reasonable price, with competitive bids. You need to build that trust because you might have multiple situations throughout the year, throughout many years, where you need multiple bids from, let's say, painters. You need to have 3 or 4 painters that you're on good terms with because although they're not all going to get every single project, they'll still provide the bids, they'll still be honest with you, and you get to learn about that process about painting. The same applies to concrete, the same landscaping. So one major advantage of having trusted vendors is that once you work with them, once you trust each other, they'll give you priority. So in a market like we're having now, it's hard to get contractors, hard to get work done because there's a lot of work for them, and they just most are gonna go with the person paying the most money. But if you trust each other, if they know you are there as a manager and they trust you and they know they're gonna get paid and that you're not, yanking their leg, they'll respond. They'll give you the bid, and if they're given the bid and there's already a relationship there, you can trust that they're gonna show up. Many of these vendors do a lot for me in this industry. I think they really go out of their way in investing money in groups such as BMI or CAMU and other groups that provide CEUs. There's good lunches, good events. Man, that's amazing that they are willing to invest in you as a manager or you as a board member to attend these courses that will educate you. And most of them are at no cost. So you can go to CAI and go to those events, same industry, different, different purpose, same education and everything, but a lot of these events are by vendors and these organizations such as, again, BMI or CAMU, is that they're putting their time, their money, their efforts in having you attend and learn from them and trust them. So it's worth it. So, vendors also, they become friends, and you might see them more often than not at different events. They have information. It's been very useful to me to hear from vendors about problems at other properties, problematic board members and situations at other properties, even in other cities, and also openings. You as a manager might be in the market for an opening somewhere, and a lot of times these vendors will have information that is not posted. It's important. Again, your network is your net worth, and your network of vendors and contacts is extremely important. That's why I post these videos. I like to show my personality. It's not to show off what I know. What I know is something most people already know, but it's a good resource. So vendors, I like to help vendors because, again, I appreciate their entrepreneurial spirit and the energy that goes into some of the sales reps. So how do you help them? Of course, referrals. Number one, referrals. You can once you know they provide good work and you trust them, you refer them out. Tell the other managers, tell your management company. I like to post pictures, mention them on LinkedIn or my personal web pages. it helps them. You know, these people are out there working. They have a family to feed. They want to show results, and you need to show results in the projects that you're putting out there for your board. So you need these vendors. So mention them on social media. Take pictures of the before and after and mention them. Say, hey, you know, CPR Painting did this, or Brightview did that, or Red Tree Landscaping did this. It helps them. It helps them in their business, and it helps them also the salespeople. I know the salespeople have to show that they have a certain amount of appointments. So call them. Call your vendors to bid. Don't feel bad if a certain vendor has given you 3 bids and they never got the project. You know, it might take 5 or 6 times. I feel bad because I have a lot of vendors that I want to use so bad, and it's been years, and they've given multiple bids, and the board doesn't choose them. So there has to be also that relationship understanding where the vendor understands, look, you're the manager, you don't make the final decision, and you're just offering them the opportunity to become familiar with your property, give a proposal, and go from there. Another way you can help vendors, which is to me priceless if I was in their position, is feedback. Give the vendor feedback on their bid. If they didn't get the proposal, the project awarded to them, say, look, Missy, Johnny, whatever, look, compared to the other bids, you were really high. And I don't know why, but you were over by like 50% over everybody else. If they're smart, they'll go back and see maybe something that they missed or miscalculated. Or even if they're really low, you say, look, you know, everybody came in at 300 grand or over, and you were at 150. That caused the board to not trust the proposal. It just seemed like a low ball, and they didn't trust it. Also, feedback before something is awarded. You may see that they missed, let's say it's a big construction project, and they missed all the steel beams that were supposed to be added, and that's an extra $80,000. You can go back and say, hey, Mr. Smith, thank you for this proposal, but in all fairness, I think you missed $80,000 worth of steel beams. Do you want to reconsider what you have here? Again, this helps build a relationship. In turn, they appreciate you, you appreciate them, and even if they're not awarded the contract, you can sort of count on them for a future. And if you're going to be in management for any length of time, you're going to need these relationships with vendors. So give them feedback, refer them, mention them whenever you can, because again, you know, that's what builds trust, and that's what is going to help you look good to the board. After all, I'm a results-driven person. I like to make sure that the board knows I'm giving my all, and I have certain contacts that will respond. So again, it's very, very important for you to have good relationships with the contractors and vendors. And look, it's not just construction. Attorneys definitely want several attorneys as resources, and they give great CEU classes. You have to have a few. Accountants, you might need, you know, a quick, some quick advice on an accounting matter, and somebody can pick up the phone and hey, they'll give that to you. I mentioned painters, anything, engineers, especially now with all the new laws. You must have a good, I guess, rolodex, even though that doesn't exist anymore. You have a good amount of resources to contact for just about any given problem. So good luck, treat your vendors right, they'll treat you right, hopefully, and go from there. Have a good one.